All right. Producer's log number one. Date is 10/29/2019. It's a little after 6 p.m. All right, so I've been thinking about making this producer's log. This is a channel where I would be live streaming basically work that I do from home. I'm a media producer and I create videos. I do all kinds of editing on my computer. I do social media videos and content creation and all kinds of stuff like that. And my plan is to include you on some of the behind the scenes as they happen. I want to do an AMA for anyone who's interested. You can leave comments in the chat. You can ask me questions as we go. If you leave a tip, I'll definitely see the comment. That's for sure. I'll have an interface and an overlay made later on. I'm still working on those things. I just haven't had the time to make it. And I wanted to get started. So this is sort of the pilot episode of the producer's log. I've got my coffee ready to go. Hope you got some too. Ooh. I know it's 6 p.m., but still got to have some caffeine going in you. All right, let's see. I'm going to shore up the stream. Make sure everything is sitting right. Okay, here we go. We're good there. And we're going to close that and that and that. If you look down in the description below, you'll see some links to social media accounts and whatnot. You can check out what I've been working on Instagram there. That is the business account. I have two other accounts, which are my personal accounts and my kind of for fun media account. There was a company that I ran for a long time called Stay Heavy Studios, which was a media production company that was more focused on alternative media. So bands, models, actors, people starting their careers in the entertainment and arts industries, artists, all kinds of people like that. And it was a whole lot of fun. I was living up in Canada at the time. I bounced all around the country, and I ended up coming back home to the United States. And now I'm back here, and I'm producing media in and around the Lehigh Valley. You'd be able to find that on any of my websites. And yeah, I shoot video mostly. That's my main gig. I work for PBS typically. Hey, we got someone actually watching. One awesome beard, thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of video production that's made this possible. Basically, I work for PBS right now. That's one of my main clients. I do network news stuff, TV news, all kinds of production like that. And then I also freelance around the valley. So I do graphic design. I do websites. I do photography, videos. I'm working on a YouTube channel right now. The link is down in the description if you feel like checking that out. It hasn't been posted yet, but I have been posting some material that's sort of like test material. If you check out my unlisted videos, I think you might be able to find it. But yeah, those are some old vlogs from a trip that I went on to the UK, so you might be able to see some cool stuff in there. But that's just a little hint for if you want to dive deeper. I'm going to be doing a bunch of gear reviews on here. I have a little agenda for today, and I believe it actually starts with, let's check this out. Okay. Yeah, so the first thing we talked about was freelancing. That's what I do. It's video, photo, all kinds of stuff like that around the valley. What I wanted to talk about next was the types of cameras that I use. Right now, you're looking at a Sony a6400, which is a little mirrorless camera, real compact, real easy to get around and rig up in different places in different ways. It's a APS-C sensor, so it's 1.5 times, 1.6 times crop factor from like a full frame camera. If you know anything about cameras, that means it's just a little bit smaller. But that affects all kinds of things. Basically, you're looking at this through a really shallow depth of field lens. That's why you see sometimes I put my hands up and it gets all focused on something there. But the idea is it's going to be a really nice wide angle. I can show you some stuff back here, like the podcasting table, and it just kind of sits there on my desk. I'll be able to move it around too as we get to some other topics, but the idea is that you get some nice quality video. It's actually outputting 4K, even though you guys are watching it in 1080p. And my mom would be giving me hell for saying guys. She gives people shit for that all the time. I hope I have the mature content thing on, because I'm gonna curse. It's gonna happen. I can't help it. Okay, so I'll show you some of my other cameras that I work with. This little guy here. And thank you to the viewer that's still on right now. My plan is to leave these up as standalone videos so that people can actually watch them and get some kind of, behind the scenes what I'm doing. I can use them as a diary and then also use them as content in the vlogs that I'll be creating down in the YouTube series below. So this is a Sony a6500. This camera has an internal stabilizer, so even when you're shooting handheld like this, you have these two little wooden hand grips. Even when you're shooting handheld, you're still going to get some really good quality footage. It's going to actually move the sensor at fractions of a second to be able to keep the image stable in the frame. I'll have some footage up on my YouTube channel. There should be some examples on the vlogs that I was producing from the UK series. That's got some slow-mo video. That's got some test footage from this A6500. It went to the UK with me, and we spent a night in Dublin. We went and shot a bridge. It was beautiful, but it was just a crazy night. Like, I literally almost died. So I'll be talking about that in that series. If you want to check it out, go to YouTube for sure. This thing does some great work, though. I've got a little Power Junkie NPF adapter on there. They're about $60 on Amazon, and honestly, a great purchase. You can pop these giant NPF. This is an NPF 960 battery, which is we can check. It's 58.5 watt hours. So those of you that know your electronics, you'd be able to tell. 7,900 milliamps. I mean, you might need voltage for that. I honestly don't know that well, but it's a lot of power in this thing. It's basically like an extra battery bank, and I get to run this for a long time. With the two hand grips, it's smooth enough that the internal stabilizer is going to be able to get rid of all the other shake. And I typically shoot in 120 frames per second with this, which means if I'm presenting my video in 24 frames a second, it's going to be 1/5 times speed. So you'll be able to slow down a significant amount without any trouble at all. You can go down in increments of like 20% if you want, but basically you can go all the way down to 20% speed, which is a significant change. Again, check YouTube. You'll see some footage like that. If you want to see what this camera actually does on YouTube, I'll have some more videos and examples coming up in that UK vlog, but definitely check out the A6500 120 frames per second, anything slow-mo tests like that. It's got some really, really great quality stuff that it can do. Here we are, just fixing my settings a little bit. All right, so this is my second B cam. That A6400 is my B cam. I like it a whole lot. It has that flip up screen so I can actually see myself while we're recording. That's probably why you see my eyes just going a little bit up. But yeah, I'll get my other camera quick. Take the battery off of that thing. Okay, so this is another Sony camera. It's an FS5, PXW FS5. So this is a big camcorder. Right now I have, there's a wireless lavalier input on here. This is from Pixel. It's a less expensive one, but it's UHF, so it's really easy to just slap it on and go. Makes it easy to avoid some interferences from phones and things like that. Distance isn't that great, but whatever. It's cheap. It can get banged around. I've got the viewfinder on the left side. I just have the kind of stock one. A lot of people put like Z finders on here and stuff like that. But I also have the shotgun mic on this side. I was switching between these the last time I was shooting. I was doing a news shoot in Allentown in the Tent City section, if anyone knows of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so this was doing some hard work over the week. It doesn't have an internal stabilizer or anything like that, but this lens has optical sensor something stabilization, OSS it's called. That's what Sony calls it. It's a method of using the internal lens features to move and compensate for the motion of the body of the camera. So it works a lot like an internal stabilizer or an IBIS, or kind of like a gimbal. Not quite the same look or feel or anything like that. But that's what we have those for. There's other tools for that. This camera's nice though. It has dual SD slots. So you can see it has the ability to, right here, take 2 cards. So that means on longer shoots, when you're shooting for hours on end or trying to capture an entire event, you can open up one of the cards, and after it switches, pull out the card that's full, put in an empty card, and continue rolling without losing anything. And that's a great feature. I think some people were saying there might be like a 1 or 2 second data loss, but I haven't experienced anything. I've been able to put clips together back to back and not have a problem, which is pretty important to me. Yeah, so we're going to put this away for now. Let's see what's on our list next to chat about. The small Sony cameras that I was using, you might have seen that cage on the A6500. It's by a company called SmallRig. I've been using their parts and pieces for a little while now, and I've been really impressed. They have all kinds of cages for, if you have a battery grip attached, they give you the extra room in something like this. But I'm noticing some really great features that they have, like these little keys. They attach these little tiny, it's just for screwing and unscrewing the bottom bolts on thsmall things, just getting it all stabilized and whatnot, secured. But it's just little tiny things like that really make the SmallRig family of equipment great. And I'm not like sponsored by any of these companies or anything like that. I'm just saying these things because this is what I use, and I want to tell you about my workflow and sort of get you introduced to the things that I use, how I use them, before showing you in the process, and having people over and doing gigs and whatnot. My plan is to have some actual shoots down here. I've got some backdrops and whatnot, so I can do all kinds of shoots and show you the setups, show you how to light things, show you how to work with your models, show you how to, the whole gambit. That's the idea. So rigging is a big important thing with cameras. You have to be able to attach your camera to the actual, you have to be able to stabilize your camera in some way. That's usually what rigging is about. You're either locking it down to a tripod, like that's currently on, or you're attaching it to like a pair of rails like this. These are from Neewer, which is a company that makes stuff. I believe they're out of China or somewhere in Asia, but they make really inexpensive stuff that's, for the price, very high quality. That's not to say that it's super, super high quality. It's still great stuff, but you have to take some concessions here and there. If you're careful about what you buy, of course, though, it's going to be great. So you can put it on things like that, stabilized equipment and shoulder rigs and shoulder mounts and whatnot. What are those called? Steady cams, whatever. But you can also put them on something else called a gimbal, which I've got a couple to show you. So this is my main boy. This is, let's flip it the right way. Oh, geez. Here we go. Okay. So this is a Zhiyun Crane 2. This camera has some some great features to it. It even had some firmware updates recently, so you can get even more features out of it. But I sort of have this thing rigged up a little bit, as you can probably see. This handle on the side, I think it's from A Gimbal Gear. You can see the little company name right there. There we go, A Gimbal Gear. A Gimbal Gear has this little grip that goes right around the neck. It's a neck collar. It just slides right on. You tighten this thing right here, and you're good to go. You can take it off with a hex wrench if you want to, and just leave the little neck there. But honestly, I find this thing so handy that I just leave it on. Being able to hold it like this and stabilize in 2 different directions is really important, as opposed to just holding the same center post like that. You want actual leverage, and having it on 2 different angles like that can be really, really helpful. I put a Manfrotto quick plate on top of this one. It just makes my balancing a whole lot easier. I use the Manfrotto quick plates on a lot of things, and it allows me to just snap my camera right on here. If I'm using the same lens, then it's good to go. But typically, I just need to adjust in 2 axes, like forward and back and side to side, depending on the weight of the lens, because the camera basically stays the same. Center of gravity is in the same place. It's just where the lens is, like how much lens is hanging off, basically. So yeah, this thing has been great for me. I got a little while before that, or a little while after that, their cell phone version, which I have over here. I'm going to grab really quick. So, I really like this thing. Now, if you notice with this one, one of my kind of problems with it was I kept like swinging around and flopping everywhere. It doesn't have a way to just lock the arms. Like I've always thought of maybe putting like a rubber band between these parts, or like some sort of like a cable tie or something like that. But I don't want to have to struggle with that every time. So I just kind of deal with it flopping around, which I'm sure isn't great for the arms. It's probably going to wear it out sooner than necessary, but whatever. I need it for speed. I don't need it for perfection. Meanwhile, this thing has it figured out a little bit better. So this, as you can see, it has like a little lockdown, and you just pop it out of place, which is really, really nice. So it's just a little pressure lock. You just clip it in, and then it stays where it kind of wants. It'll still flop around in that regard, but I find you can just walk around like this, and then it's super easy and ready to go. I have the little feet attached to this one, so it's much taller than it normally would be. Here we go. So it's basically just one hand and then this little wheel right here. Like it's really small in your hand, and it gets the job done, but it really can't hold a lot of weight. The body of this thing is plastic. You can feel it. It's good quality plastic, but still, it's not going to carry the kind of weight that Crane 2 can hold. That thing will hold my FS5. And that thing's a big camera. It's like 12 pounds once I have it all kitted out. So this will hold cell phones with lenses on them sometimes. Even those can be a little bit overbalanced, so you have to get counterbalances in order to make them fit. But this thing's a great value. It's only about $100. It's called the Zhiyun Smooth 4. Yeah, Smooth 4. But even better is this new one that they just came out with. Zhiyun, again, they're not sponsoring this, but I just like talking about their stuff. This little thing. So, if you can see, it's not flopping around at all, first of all. It's got a little wrist strap, which is nice. It's got the little feet, which come off. But it's also tiny. I'm able to balance my A6500s on here. A6400... I'm able to balance the A6400 on here. I haven't tried the A6500 yet. It's a little heavier because of the internal stabilizer, but I put the 16mm and the A6400 on here and got them to work. They were in the cage, and I think that set the balance off a little too far, that they didn't quite balance, but it stabilized. It held it. It can hold the weight. So I just need to figure out how to counterbalance it in the right way so that it can clear all the axes and do its thing. But either way, this thing is just fantastic. The little lock mechanism, there's a button right here, which allows you to lock and unlock this. You can see it right inside there, this tiny little pin. Oh, there it is. Okay. Tiny little pin. Watch. I'll unclip it, and then it goes loose. The pin's still there, but that's only until I pull this lever loose and pop this thing up. Boom. Just a little bit, and then it all unlocks. So as you can see, here we go. When you push down, that little button comes up. And that's the mechanism that locks the whole thing. It's super easy. It just pops right open like that. All you have to do is get it in place, lock it down, hit the button. You can even hit the button and then just spin it, and then it'll lock itself. So it's a sweet little compact thing. I haven't tried it out for battery life yet, but I think it's going to be a pretty good buy. It's about $260, so it is more expensive than the Smooth 4, but it can hold a lot more weight, so that's good. It also has quick mounts that come out of it, which are super handy. It's just a slide into the side, and you're supposed to be able to save your positioning with that. It has a little position lock right here, which you can flip in and out and move. Don't worry, I didn't have it saved anywhere, so you can flip that right there. But yeah, it's got some great features. I'm liking it so far. I'll let you know what I feel about it as I learn more about it. But if I keep doing this stream, then I'm sure you're going to see. Alrighty. Let's take a look at our docket here. Okay, so talked about Sony cameras, we talked about rigging, we talked about stabilization, we talked about the new Zhiyun M2. Wait, Zhiyun, that's what it's called. Potato Jet taught me that. Go check out his channel on YouTube. He does some awesome reviews, and he's a lot of fun to watch too. He's just a really cool dude, it seems like. So the next thing that I'm going to be testing with those stabilizers is phones. The M2 and the Smooth 4 would both be able to hold this thing super easily. I mean, obviously the Crane 2 could hold it, but that's complete overkill. No reason to do that. I think it would probably just make the gimbal freak out too. So the idea with this is it's got 3 lenses on it. Like, it's the Note 10 Plus. So you've got a wide, medium, and telephoto lens. But there's a company called Moment that makes these lenses. They're fantastic, first of all. But second, if you have a camera that has multiple lenses like this, and they make a case that has a spot to mount the lens on the external lens on each body lens, then all of a sudden you have 6 lenses now. If you have 2 lenses for Moment, now you have 9. You've got 9 different lenses. Like, it just, you're compounding your the quality and the different looks that you can get with a single camera. So I'm waiting for that case to come out. It was delayed a little bit. Moment had to release a video, and they're very honest and open about things. They seem like a really, really cool company, and I applaud their honesty. Honestly, that was weird. I said that too many times, but I'm proud of them for doing it the way that they did. They just came out and they talked about, hey, sometimes things get delayed. We're a small company, and we apologize, but we're going to be getting your stuff out to you as soon as possible. They sent it out to everyone who had open orders, especially, I think, for the Note 10 case. We got the walnut one coming in. But the reason why I fell in love with this company was using these lenses with my S9. This is the case for the S9. Basically, there's a little tiny notch in the bevel for the camera, and it allows you to pop these lenses in and out. They make a bunch of different types of lenses, like this one. They come in these great little cases. This is the 58 millimeter telephoto. I got the little M right on the front. Beauty. Okay, let's get this open. You pop this thing out, and you've got a full-blown lens in there. It's hefty. It's made out of metal. It's got a good sound, like it feels nice and hefty, and all you have to do to put it in here is just pop it in the hole and spin it. Yes, that is what she said, actually. But it just pops right onto the front of your camera, and then you've got this beauty of a lens. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Good Lord. So, as you can imagine, I'm really excited to get these on the Note, because the Note it's just phenomenal image quality. I've always really liked Samsung's image quality. I've been using the S3s for as long as I can remember. I went up to the S6, S7, I think, a while after that. And then the S9 when I moved back down to the United States. The S9, I cracked the corner of the screen, and because I had bought it outright, I thought that I had some sort of warranty, but apparently I didn't purchase the extended warranty, whatever. Yeah, so I got to get a screen repair for this one. It still works, but it's just not reliable as like a daily driver phone. I needed something that would keep me in work, so I got this boy. But I still haven't gotten the case for it, so it's like I'm worried about the phone itself, but this time I got the warranty, so we're good. That's a relief. But oh yeah, I need that phone because we're going to be checking our docket here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm excited to get this with those lenses onto the M2 and on the Smooth 4 back there. I think it's going to be a really powerful combination, and the ability to shoot 4K on your phones, the fact that they have pretty good digital stabilizers in there that you can fine tune or even turn off, allows me to dial in exactly how much stabilization I need and how much is going to go well with these gimbals. So I'm excited to see some footage from that. If you want to check it out, stay tuned with our Facebook page down below. We have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is just getting started, so we're relying on people like you to help get us off the ground. We need to be able to customize things like our username and all that jazz. So it'd be really helpful if you went out and checked those out. Our Instagram account is just getting off the ground as well. But if you check my personal stuff out on social media, you'll be able to find there's a lot of content out there. I used to run a company called Stay Heavy Studios, as I mentioned before. I also have a brand, Golden Pair Wedding Media, so you can find that on gpwm.myshopify.com. That's our website. There's also stayheavystudios.com, and then there's social media to go along with both of those. There's tons of content out there. Go check it out, and that would be fantastic. But there's a lot of new stuff coming, so I'm excited to show you because we have some really cool things in the works. I'm working with one person in particular who I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to work on his project with you soon. This guy does sideshow stuff, and it's kind of tough to explain. I've known him for a long time. He's like a relative to me now. And it's just one of those things where his job is so wild that I almost can't just tell you about him. Like I gotta show you. So I'm gonna pull up my dual cam here, and we're gonna go into Premiere Pro. It might pop up on the other screen at first, but we'll get it in the right place. The idea is I've been shooting content for him for a while now, and sideshow people are they're not trying to show off everywhere on social media. And the reason for that is I think there's a lot of old fear. Let's switch back here. The reason I think is because there's a lot of stigma surrounding their tricks getting out in media and people being able to look and really figure out what's going on. It's not good for them. It's not good for their career. And then I know an example of a story where one sideshow performer was doing an act where they put a drill bit into their nose, and it got into a photo, and then suddenly, a couple months later, everyone was doing that act, and it used to just be him. So these other people were literally like taking the exclusivity of his act, and that's a thing that we have to be really careful of when doing this. So here, I'm gonna pull up this. I'm gonna pull this up. Let's get us moved over. We're in Adobe Premiere Pro right now. I use all the Adobe programs and the Creative Cloud to do most of my editing. It takes a little while to open up. The dialog box is literally just still chugging along. There's a ton of footage that I have for this. We went to the Allentown Fair. We went to Baltimore and filmed Harley and David London doing the Tricksters show. That's some of what I'm working on right now is the media for that Tricksters show. Basically, I want to make them a teaser and also a promo just to show people who might want to have their show to their stage, to their venue, to their party, whatever. So here's some of what I have so far.
Harley, what are you doing? This? Well, stop it. It's time.
Well, I have it on full. Let's do a quarter here. Speed this up. Okay. I'm going to drink some more here. Ooh. That's some high test right there. Okay. So I'm just keeping it really simple with this. This is supposed to be a 5-minute approximate promo piece. I should have known that my computer's going to take a little while. This is I'm trying to live stream and edit footage at the same time, so it's going to be a little bit slow. But we'll bear with the footage. There is some cool stuff that I want to show you. I'm excited to here. Let's change our paused resolution to quarter. Okay, it's going to be fuzzy, but whatever. We'll get over it. Okay, so here's sort of like the intro of their act.
Harley, what are you doing? This? Well, stop it. It's time to start the show.
Oh, but we already did.
What do you mean we already did?
We already started.
What are you talking about?
We already started. Think about it.
Hi, everyone. My name is David.
I'm Barley.
Harley, I can't see you.
Oh. I'm Barley.
And welcome to the Tricksters. And welcome to our show. Harley?
Yeah, it's pretty dark. It's probably not the thing to show you right away, but I don't want to give away too much. So, apologies, but that's what you're getting. So yeah, that's part of the promo. We're basically showing chunks of their stage performances. We're gonna put it into a basic format so they can just send this link to promoters and venue owners and people who might want to have their show up. Ooh, it's a little loud. Turn these speakers down. Let's see. We're getting a message. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, as you can tell, one of the things that Harley does is he does straitjacket escapes. He does bed of nails. He does sword swallowing. He does fire blowing. He does fire eating. He does all kinds of stuff, and he also trains people in this. The thing is, you have to have an interest in it. You have to have already had like a bit of a history. You have to be a little bit vetted to be able to do this. You have to kind of show you're willing to get in the game before anyone's really going to train you. Like you want to like kind of learn a little bit. Don't try this stuff at home, but try to learn a bit about the industry, learn a bit about the people, find local people that are around you that are respected in the industry, and try and learn from them. And then someone like Harley eventually is a great resource to go to. He has these training courses for something he calls Oddity U, where he'll show you how to breathe fire, lay on a bed of nails, do all that stuff. But that you can get elsewhere. What he really trains you how to do is how to craft a story. And this, honestly, I went there with a PBS reporter once. There's a segment on Sideshow that we did with PBS. If you look it up on WLVT.org, just the word Sideshow, you should be able to find the chunk. Basically, we went there with a reporter, and she's done comedy before. She's done all kinds of things like that. And she found his Oddity U course to be like a lesson in storytelling more than anything. And it helped her along in her own journey, even though she wasn't doing like sideshow performance and sword swallowing. But she actually still got into it, which was really crazy. She was given enough confidence and given enough backup so that she felt comfortable to, lay down on a bed of nails and get a cinder block broken on her chest, which is, pretty cool if you ask me. Hope you guys heard that. Okay. So, what can we do in this project right now? The Tricksters promo, I want to get some nice shots together. So I have some slow-mo mapped out here. This is obviously pretty dark. We were shooting in a black box theater, which, if you don't know, is literally just a blacked out theater. All the walls are painted black. There's curtains everywhere. So the idea is it's a little bit echoey. Like the sound is meant to project onto the stage. Like there's a little cove in the back, and it's dark. Like, yeah, they had stage lights on, but it's kind of hard to expose for that and know that you're getting the proper exposure. So it was a challenge to shoot, but I think these cameras did pretty well. This is the A6500, I believe, at this point. So we're going to go through and I'm going to do a little bit of basic color correction on these. I want them to... I just want to be sure that I can fix these up. So my first step is typically I go into Lumetri Color, which is under the Color work panel. Under Creative, I'll add a LUT, which I keep all my LUTs organized in here. These are from Leeming. I'm not sponsored by Leeming or anything like that. Once again, this is just me saying that. Leeming LUTs, they have some great ones for Sony, Creative Neutral, Cine 2, which is a profile that I shoot with a lot of the time, and HLG for Rec 709. I don't typically shoot with S-Log 3, but S-Log 2 can be great if you're not doing like super high dynamic range places. Like if you're shooting the gradient of a sky, S-Log 3, you'll definitely start to see that breakdown. S-Log 2 might be pretty good, but I still typically stick to like Cine 2 or S-Log 2 if I'm shooting things like that. I don't want to go push it all the way to S-Log 3 because these are shooting 8-bit. They're not 10-bit like the FS5. That thing can handle S-Log 3 like nobody's business. It's great. But we're going to go to Creative Neutral for these. Let's see if we can rein it in a little bit. Then what I find is that, I got this information from Gerald Undone. You can find his YouTube channel, and it's got great information about color profiles and color rendering and color correction and equipment and just all kinds of things. Like he's really a great resource for information on camera equipment. And as someone who's trying to become a resource on camera equipment, I feel like that's kind of a good endorsement. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so that's taking a little too far with the brightening. But let's basically expose for his face right now. I don't think I'm going to pull that arm back too much. It's just kind of right in the spotlight. Um, but yeah, as you can see, those leaming LUTs, they just sort of, like, this is the creative neutral LUT, so it kind of pulls out a lot of the contrast and a lot of the, I don't know, it just helps sort of bring the high and the low end of your image, like the pure whites and the pure blacks. It brings them closer together. It gives you a wider dynamic range to work with. Let's see here. There's still something that looks a little weird with that. It just looks kind of green to me, and I don't think pulling the greens out did quite enough. Let's do this, and then let's go into the color correction. I think if we pull out a little bit of the orange, I think we're looking pretty good. Like, that's definitely better. That's where we were before. That's where we are now. Okay, well, let's see here. So, I'm not putting it in input LUT. I'm only putting it in creative when it comes to the LUTs. Here you can actually dial back the intensity, and you can above too, but it affects it at a different point in the chain. I want to be able to do my white balance and then have it affect the creative LUT. Let's go back to curves. Still it's a little bit red now. There we go. So that's about as good as it's gonna get. We can kind of mess with these and try and pull back that highlight area a bit, but it's just gonna look muddy and weirdly saturated if we go too far. So I'm just gonna kind of avoid that altogether. It's it's a stage show, so what do we really expect? All in all, I think that footage looks pretty great. Okay, so let's pull this back. That's good for that. Let's see how that fits onto our other. Let's go here. We're going to hit Control C to copy. I'm going to drop that effect right here. Good, it brightens us up a little bit, but this one, I think we need a bit more exposure. We don't want to push that much past 1, or else we're just going to get grainy. It's going to be gross. And let's see how they work on these. That looks pretty good, but that's it's like too bright on this one. So let's see what happens if we pull the exposure back a bit. Better. Still not great. Some of the highlights are peaking. This one, probably going to have to raise it up as well. Yeah, I think 1.1 is as far as I want to go. Some cool shots of the crowd. There's Harley doing his thing. Let's see what this does. This is a different color, but yeah, that's still pretty forgiving on the color. It brings out our yellows a little bit more and subdues that green a bit. Here's the difference. So like you can kind of see some greens down here, and it brings up the brightness without really showing off those greens too much. It's about the same level of saturation anyway. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's not quite it's not bad. Forgiving there. That looks fine to me. Here we go. Yeah, by the way, that's Harley's bed of nails. Just to give you a little hint. If you're watching at this point, go check Harley out, because he does some crazy, crazy stuff. Hoi. Alright. Alright, so we're going to save this. So this is, that was Harley's saying, let's look at this. Here, remember how I mentioned that PBS news segment? Here it is.
Breathing fire, walking on swords, laying on a bed of nails. You may have seen these stunts at a circus sideshow. Harley Newman teaches the performance art.
Yeah, see, now that's nice.
He calls it Oddity U.
The stunts themselves are ancient.
4 hopeful sideshow performers spent the weekend learning from Newman at his home near New Tripoli. Trained as a clown, Newman is an internationally recognized expert in sideshow, a culture rooted in dangerous performances designed to awe and entertain.
The people who come here, I screen. I want people who have some performing experience as a rule. I want people who are going to do things that I think are going to be interesting with the material that I teach them.
We got straight jackets, which I've been wanting to do for about 10 years now.
I have learned to walk up a ladder of swords.
The most difficult will be the fire, passing fire and eating fire.
Students come from as far as Canada and the West Coast to learn from Newman.
I grew a very different style of showmanship, very based in storytelling.
The performance combines daredevil stunts with comedy and storytelling.
So the initial goal of a performance is to take all these disparate groups of people who come to see a show. The first thing you have to do as a performer is turn them into one audience.
That shot with a gimbal. From vortex mode.
As the training began, he did just that with a strategy he calls Do As I Do.
Everybody in that audience is putting themselves in your shoes. One, they're discovering that it's safe. 2, they're having a good time laughing at it.
He teaches that the stunt is not the point, it's the exclamation mark to the story.
I don't expect you to put a power drill in your nose as part of a Do As I Do, but all of the stuff that leads up to that is the story, and then the drill or the high heel shoe, those are the real punctuation marks.
The students learned how to structure their routine with climax, comedy, and suspense, in addition to hands-on learning of basic stunts.
It scares me so much.
Breathing fire isn't so inviting. At Oddity U, everyone is facing their fears and doing things they never thought they could. They all left in one piece, including me after laying on a bed of nails.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, stay there. Okay, spread your arms out to the side. All the way out.
What are you gonna do? Oh my gosh.
It's a mind over matter thing, I guess, and I was intimidated by it, and doing it, you feel so accomplished.
Sword swallowing isn't a stunt everyone can do. Newman says only about 1,000 people in the world can do it. He's one of them, and it usually takes months to learn. Lorenzo Ocon had never tried sword swallowing until this weekend. By Sunday, he beat the odds.
Finally swallowing it, that was just freaking amazing. Words can't even describe the accomplishment and the confidence that I felt.
After this class, what do they walk away with? What are they able to do?
They'll be able to do the stunts that they came here to learn. Hopefully they will have a different idea of how to construct a show. I want them to have some experience, but I also want them to be hungry to learn more. And when they leave here, they'll have access to me as a mentor for, whoever knows how long.
But the students say it's a lot more.
It was much more exciting and much more informative and all around a much more impressive class than I thought it was going to be. I learned a lot more than I thought I was going to, and got a lot more tools to take with me that I think will stick in head. Harley's good at that.
I liked how scary and intimidating they were.
And thanks to Harley's encouragement, I think Harley's encouragement and his support is definitely what helped guide me and get me through it as well.
Students who learn from Harley Newman may go on to create their own sideshow routine, entertain as street performers, or in traveling acts, all using the skills of this unique art form and brand of storytelling. In Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, I'm Haley O'Brien. PBS 39 News Tonight.
Sweet. So yeah, that is what Harley does. He's a great teacher too. Honestly, he's got a really cool routine that he goes through for instruction, and I got to see the class once about 10 years ago when I was younger. He actually brought me in in exchange for mowing his lawn all summer. I got to join the course. And it was mostly just because he wanted to see me getting into some sideshow stuff. But he showed me how to put a nail 6 inches into my face. Showed me how to lie down on a pile of broken glass, and have someone spin me around on it. Like all kinds of just really brutal looking stuff that you wouldn't expect some kid in high school to know. So it was surprising stuff when I went up to college and I got to kind of experiment with presenting that stuff to people a little bit. And it's, I've got friends who later in life, after they're in their 30s, started to get into fire hula hoops and, poi and all kinds of different things like that. It's never too late to start sideshow, and it's always something fun to experiment with. A lot of it is about facing your fears and getting over your fears, and it's something to be proud about. So let's go back to Premiere here. That's the News Tonight segment. We also have let's see, did we do World of Wonders in this? Oh yeah, we did. Okay, here's a really cool group. I got to work with these people. World of Wonders Sideshow is a traveling act, and they stopped into the Allentown Fair. I got to meet all of them, thanks to Harley, again. There was... I don't know how to explain it. It was just a great time. They put on this great show. They do a... Southern side show. They do a like a variety show. They do all kinds of stuff, and they have guest performers with them too. So let's check out this video really quick. I'll let it roll for you. It's not very long. It's about 2 minutes. So I'll let you enjoy that while I catch up on some messages really quick.
I'm Luella Lynn, and I'm a strong woman here at the World of Wonders.
My name is Dakota North. I am the Pierce Lifter and Fire Eater for World of Wonders Sideshow.
Zach Crouch, otherwise known on stage as Captain Darren Von Awesome, Human Blockhead, Sword Swallower, Inside Talker, and General Buffoon.
On stage, I'm the Great Gosleone, but my real name is Tommy Breen, and I'm the owner of the World of Wonders. When I was 14 years old in high school, I decided I'm gonna join the sideshow.
I'd say I've always had an interest in sideshow. It's not dead, it's only just started.
I've had moms come up to me and say, thank you for showing my daughter that she can be strong. I'm certainly proud to be part of something that's been around for so long. I left a full-time career and came out on the road because I thought it was a good opportunity and a place that I wanted to be that fit for me.
I've injured myself several times. I've had 13 staples across my scalp. I've given myself nosebleeds almost daily for a few years. I lost all of my teeth. I've lit my face on fire.
There's always a chance that something could go wrong. There could be an accident that you could walk away maimed, injured, or, rolling out of the stage in an ambulance.
There are acts that I do that I'm still moderately terrified of. They say that courage is being afraid of something and doing it anyway.
That's what I always wanted, that real carnival sideshow feel and experience, having the World of Wonders at fairs and continuing that sideshow tradition, just having it as accessible family entertainment. The World of Wonders will be coming to a town near you, so just go to your county fairs, go to your state fairs,
And check us out. You can find The World of Wonders at The World of Wonder Show on just about every social media platform you can find.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun to work on. They're a really cool group, really down-to-earth people, and honestly a ton of fun to film. This is the Headless Woman act. Basically, Luella loses her head in a guillotine, and then they show you her body right on stage, which is it's really cool. I love how they do it. Anyway, so something I forgot to mention, when I work on stuff like this, I typically have this program running. It's called Torbox, and it's actually this little thing right here. You can see my little greasy fingerprints on it already. So basically, this gives me a bunch of knobs and sliders and buttons and scroll wheels and directional pads and all that stuff. Little buttons that I can program and use as hotkeys. I can assign macros to them, like whatever I really want to do. And I can set different profiles for the different programs that I'm using. So this is especially helpful when you're photoshopping, and then you have to jump into, you got to use Adobe Dynamic Link, and you got to jump into Premiere Pro to, turn that into a video or something like that. Or, you're in Premiere Pro, and you got to jump out to Audition to adjust some audio settings. You got to jump out to After Effects to do some CGI or do some logo animation or something, whatever. But you're bouncing between these different programs, and it's just like, it's next to impossible to get an interface that is built to work with all of these programs in a proprietary sense. What Torbox does is they allow you to make profiles that you can switch to on the fly, which makes it really, really easy to get done what you need. Makes it really easy to get done what you need in a really timely manner. You can set up these little hand positions and just figure out how you best use this thing. It's very comfortable. I use it in my left hand, just like this. I'll have it sitting there. And yes, it does have a USB out, which is pretty cool. You can kind of daisy chain things together that way and have a whole setup going. So here's the interface. This is the Torbox console, and this is my Premiere Pro setup. You can see knob is arrow left and arrow right. Dial is shift arrow left and shift arrow right. That allows me to hop down the timeline. Like this is, we gotta hit our num lock there. Okay, so I can go slow. Yeah, so you can do slow-mo, or you can go real fast. And that's the wheel versus the knob. Let's see, you can go in and easily just click, hit a button, hit OK, and then you've got your new key structure. You can assign combinations of keys. There's a... where is it? Oh, yeah, okay. So you hit these down arrows, and then you get all the combinations that you can do as well, which is just... it becomes almost endless. Basically, I've got macros for undo, redo, for save, for export, for all of these different settings that I can just now use my left hand. I can go like this, and all of a sudden I'm doing half of the things that I would normally do. I don't have to go find my way across a keyboard, hit key combinations, all these things. I don't have to remember those, because I can just program what I want and just have it be, boom, right there. It's this button with my thumb and this button with there. Super, super easy. This thing is a joy to work with, and it's got some good features. Like if you're ever working, you can hit this little button right there. Yep, that one, that guy. It's called the Tor button, and it'll bring this little HUD up, so it'll show all of your hotkeys for that specific layout. You can go into the advanced settings, which are all of your extended settings and layouts, or you can just go back to the general one. Either way, you click that, toggles it on and off. Don't even have to click on anything. Nice and easy. This thing's about $150 on Amazon. Again, not sponsored by any of these companies, but it's done a lot of great work for me. I like it a whole lot. I would suggest it to anyone. It really complements my workflow, and honestly, I've been doing a whole lot more editing lately, so I need something that can help me move along and do things quickly. All right, so I've got 2 things left to show you for tonight. We're getting towards the end of our producer's log here. This is the inaugural producer's log, the pilot, if you will. We're gonna check out. I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna close that up. I'm gonna make a new tab here, bring it into your window, and then put that back up so I can see. All right, cool. So here, stop. See if we can get in here. So I'm building a website. Crap. This is part of the problem. Having a bunch of websites means remembering all of your... Nope. 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 Yeah, having trouble logging in. Okay, so hey, security's good to have. But shoot. Okay, so I'm not going to show you that right now. Basically, I'm going to be building a website for Harley, and we're working on some social media. He's going to have Instagram. He's going to have YouTube. He's going to have all kinds of stuff. You know what? As a little consolation prize for the not being able to do his website, I'll show you some of the videos that we've made for him. I gotta find them first. Okay, I think I know where they are. There we are. Not quite. Okay, so Harley and I, we've been working on these little shorts, and that's what I'm trying to find right now. They're these little videos that we've been making. I don't know why I can't find them. There are these little videos that we've been making that, oh, maybe here? No. Okay. I'm going to keep looking around for these videos, but basically, Harley and I have been working on these little shorts. We'll do these one takes of tricks that he does and stunts and things like that. He's been doing these things for 25 years, but they've never been on film before, which is honestly just kind of blows my mind. Like, there's so much that he does, and there's so much that he can present to entertain an audience. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me that it's just not everywhere. He does some pretty cool stuff. Oh, that's not what I wanted to click. Okay. Well, I thought that was it. Still not finding it. So, the reason that we've been making these little things is to build up his social media. The art of Sideshow is a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit different. Like it's not something that you can put into film really easily, because a lot of the tricks and a lot of the things, if you can rewind them and look back, like it kind of breaks the magic a little bit, and no one wants that. So so the point of this stuff is to archive it in a way that it's safe, like it can be shown to the world without it ruining the tricks, without ruining the sort of mystique that's about it. You know, everyone wants to be able to maintain the magic, and you can't do that if suddenly a whole bunch of media comes out that's allowing everyone to see what goes on here. You know, it's not fair to the production. So why can I not find these? Okay. Well, I'll have them for you next time. I know there's a lot of anticipation there. I can't seem to find them right now. Or, well, okay, you're in luck. We got them. We got them right here. Okay, so let's pop one of these up. All right, I certainly hope you're ready. I mean, I know you're not, but I hope you are. Okay, so I would like to introduce you to Harley Newman. Here he is.
Harley, hold your tongue.
Oh, that's really quiet. Okay, let's start that over. Because you got to be able to hear the whole thing. It's very important. All right, here we go.
Oh, fuck. Harley, hold your tongue.
Okay.
No, that's not what I meant.
It's slippery. It's slippery. Wait, I know.
Well, wait, what? Okay. Harley, no! Harley!
Yeah, so that's one of the tricks. Let's find you some other ones. Like, here's a good one.
What? What are you doing? Harley, no!
What else have we got here? I've got two more for you. So, this one's called That's Not How You Play Tennis.
Hey, Harley, have you seen my tennis racket?
It's an example of how we would add titles and stuff to it.
What happened to my tennis racket? What? Harley. Oh. What?
God, I forgot how ridiculous these are.
What? What are you trying to say? What? Ooh. Harley, you know that's not how you play tennis, right? What?
So yeah, he does escape artist stuff. He does all kinds of madness like that. For the last one, I'm going to show you something that's a little bit more kind of shock value. And this is one of those things, I feel like I have to preface this. Like, don't try this stuff at home. This guy's a professional. He's been doing it for longer than I've been alive.
Hey, Harley, you want to go fishing?
I can't keep my eyes open.
Oh, man, that's not how you fish.
I know I produced this, but I still can't.
Who needs fish?
No! No! Good. Oh man, that footage just gets me right in the gut every time. I can't help but like get a little. Okay, so that's Harley Newman. Definitely go check him out. His website right now is bladewalker.com. We're going to be migrating that to a new website very, very soon. We're going to be working on that later tonight. I wish I could show you, but it's going to be one of my designers here, and we're not quite all on the streaming board yet. So, if you enjoyed the stream, definitely leave some comments. Go hit us up on YouTube. Hit us up on social media somehow. Go to the Facebook page. Go leave us a message there. Leave us a comment or something like that. Tell us what you thought of this, because I'd really like to know. I want to hear your questions. Send us a message on Instagram or on Facebook. We'll be happy to reply to all your questions, both there and on here. If we get a bunch of questions about the same subject, we'll make a video on it. I do all kinds of gear reviews too, so go check me out, Stefan Fulton on Amazon.com. I've got a review profile, and I'm trying to add a whole bunch more videos to that about camera gear, about film equipment, about, all kinds of crap like that. It's great. I am going to be doing a video very soon on something called an Outstorm motorized mountain board. This thing has, I think, 3,000 watts of power, and it can go like 31 miles an hour. It's a mountain board, so it's a longboard with giant wheels that can go super fast. Honestly, it's terrifying. I love it. It's gonna be the death of me though. It's a little wild. So those vlogs and those reviews and all that stuff I've been working on for a while now. Here we are. I'm going to, let's see. I'm back on Premiere right now. I just closed a project. But I'll be going to this vlog project now, as that loads up. I've been shooting vlogs while I was in the UK, visiting my cousins. I was shooting vlogs while working for PBS. I was shooting footage in my spare time and on days off when I'd go work for other clients and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm just now finally aggregating them into a channel. There's a ton of material out there. And I hope that you're gonna watch, some of it. Could be kind of fun, So this most recent one, I'll give you a tease of episode 4, because this is where I start to show off some actual footage. It was my cousin's now husband, Chris, who showed me his really awesome motorcycle that he's got over in England, and I got to film that with the A6500, test out some of the slow-mo capabilities and how well it tracks a subject and all that stuff. And here's some of the footage.
So today is a little bit different.
Chris, Gabby, and I went out to the moors again. But this time to get... That video is going slow. Okay. You know what? Okay, we're gonna let that go. I'll show you some examples soon. Here's the intro, which I'm pretty proud of. So yeah, that was fun. Putting that together was really cool. There's a lot of free templates out there for those spin transitions, but you tweak those a little bit and you can get some really cool results. There's free title cards out there that you can download and you can just slap stuff on. But with a little bit of tweaking, you can really make it your own and make things like this really interesting. This is actually this is something I shot with a GoPro. Oh, that's right. Okay. So I shot this with a GoPro. It's an unboxing video, and I'm unboxing this GVM slider. I have this up on Amazon. You can go check out the video there. But I kind of want to do some more stuff like this. Like, I really enjoy... Well, I mean, first of all, I get a whole bunch of crap off of Amazon. I get a ton of my gear through Amazon. I get discounts and stuff because I'm in loyalty programs and I leave reviews and whatnot. So it's worth my time to kind of filter all my stuff through there. I understand that has an effect on small businesses, but I also think that, you know, retail like this and the supply of products should be handled by a big company with infrastructure that they can make it cheap, they can make it worthwhile for people. I get that there's all kinds of stuff going on there. I really don't want to comment on that, though. This is just, I came from a background where I had to be able to make stuff for cheap and get equipment for cheap. So that's where I started getting it. Basically, though, these review videos have been a product of me getting stuff through that Amazon channel. So what I'm trying to do... Hey! Ashley's here. Hey. She is in the background. If you want to stay anonymous, you can just stay back there a little bit. I'll be done in a little bit. All right. But yeah, these gear review videos are basically inexpensive equipment that makes really high quality content for a budget. You know, you're not going to have to spend like $1,000 on a slider here. It's going to be in the $200 to $300 range. You're not going to spend $1,000 on, like light stands and all that stuff. But you'll get good quality stuff for the money that you do spend. So yeah, this one I did. I did it on a Hero 5. It's a GoPro and it's the Session. So it's a little tiny 1-inch square guy, and I couldn't get the settings right. I just didn't like how it came out. So instead I started filming on my phone, and I was using Adobe Rush, it's called, which is this mobile program. It allows you to edit video on your phone, and using the Note 10, I have absolutely no trouble like editing really high quality video content. Like, I'm shooting in 4K with the front sensor on my phone. So it's high quality video, but at the same time, like, it's not slowing down my phone at all, because thing's got 12 gig of RAM. First of all, it can handle it. But second, Adobe Rush is designed in a way that it's very low intensity. Like, you're using touch controls and it's very intuitive. But it's also not it's not going to hog up all your RAM, even if you're not using, a Note 10 Plus. So it's a program that's been doing me really well. I really enjoyed it. You can check those other reviews out on Amazon.com. But I actually have a box right now. I've been working with this company called Newer. They've been sending me products. I do reviews. They give me a bit of a discount. Sometimes they give me stuff for free in return for the review. The only thing that I've gotten for free so far was there was a photo studio box thing. It's like a light box. Allows you to light small objects and do product photography really, really easily. We took it out somewhere and did it remotely, and it was great. I actually used the ring lights to light this right now. They're little USB things, so they work great with my computer. I can just plug them into a little power strip that I have that has USB ins, and we're good to go. But yeah, I'm gonna open up something really quick, and then I'll be done for the night. I talked to you about all kinds of stuff tonight. We went through my list here. Let's see. We talked about freelancing at the very beginning. We talked about Sony cameras, rigging, stabilization, the Zhuin range of gimbals, the Crane 2, the Smooth 4 for mobile, and now the M2 for small cameras and for mobile devices. we talked about Moment lenses. I didn't show you this one, though, which is the 1.33 anamorphic. I'll show you some footage from that soon. I love the way that anamorphic looks, so it's great to be able to get that on something as small as a phone. And actually, I'll show you something here. While we were streaming, I got a notice. That's probably way too bright. But Moment sending out those lenses, and it's a 18 mil wide lens, a Note 10 case, which has the 3 places where you can put your lenses in, and a filter mount. So I'm going to be able to start using polarizing filters and all kinds of stuff for the different lenses that they have. It comes with little rubber gaskets that fit inside of a 62 millimeter thread mount. So it works really great. Let's see. We also talked about Harley's videos that we've been working on. I showed you the tour box. I tried to show you Harley's website. We didn't quite get to it, but we'll get to that soon. We're going to be working on that later tonight and hopefully have it up and ready to go this week. So stay tuned for a link on that. It'll be on the Facebook page. It'll be on, Instagram probably. We'll post about it. And I showed you my my vlog videos that I've been working on. Go to the YouTube channel to check those out. And the review videos, those are going to be all up on Amazon. A lot of those are done on my cell phone, so tell me what you think. If it's adequate for a review video, I'll keep doing it on my cell phone because they're real quick and real easy to edit. A lot of them under 10 hours. I'll shoot it, and then I'll just sit down on the couch and just bash one out real quick. So, little treat. I'm going to show you what came in the mail from the Bezos today. Let's flip that way so you don't... No, you're good. There was no thing on there. So this comes from Newer. Newer's been sending me all kinds of things. We did that photo box review. Let's see. Did the photo box review. We did... we're going to do a slider review. I did a light review. They have the NL1320, which is a 1,320 bead LED panel. It's got yellow and white LEDs, which are daylight and tungsten balanced, or daylight and incandescent balanced beads accordingly. It doesn't give a readout, but it's got some great power, and for the price, you really can't beat it. But this time, they're sending me. Oh God. Wow, that was difficult. Okay. C-stands. So this is the third C-stand that I've bought from them. They had a deal going on where it was $118 for a C-stand, 2 clamp heads, and a 40-inch arm or something like that. Let me rip this stuff out of here, and I'll show it to you real quick. Okay, well, I shredded all the materials in the box, but whatever, we'll live. All comes in this handy dandy bubble wrap. I'm sure is great for the environment, but my thing is, it's a C-stand. It's not gonna break. Just send it to me. Mail it like this. I don't give a damn. I like their design. They just pop out. You just pull to the sides, and they link, and then you got legs. All right. And then you take your pole in here, and you just pop it right into the base. You tighten that down, and then you pull out your giant arm with the heads on it. Let's see. Let's get these on out of here. We're going to get these. Okay. Okay. So you take the arm. I'm going to kind of kneel on my chair here. Take the arm, and then you can install these things on top of it. Grip arm. And then you can like stick this guy in here. Boom. Nice and easy. Just remember, always rig to the right. Boom. And now you can mount things very securely because these are just crazy powerful. So yeah, 120 bucks, which is not a bad deal if you ask me. They're solid. They've been working well for me on other gigs. There's actually one right above my head right now, so I hope it stays, or else I'm kind of in trouble. But yeah, great time. So we've covered it all. Thanks for watching this first producer's log. I'm going to be back with tons more stuff. I'll show you what I'm working on as I'm working on it. You can ask me questions along the way. Don't forget about that. Make sure you send your questions if I'm offline to FCMG_stay on Instagram, FC Media Group also on Instagram, FC Media Group on Facebook, or Full Coverage Media Group on YouTube. Go check out our channel. Go subscribe. See what's going to happen. And yeah, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast. I will see y'all soon. Peace.